You see every snap that these guys play right from the beginning of training camp right on through to this point of the year. What do you think about Sunday? How do you think the team will come out and play?
Well, I feel very confident. I think everybody should be, especially in the Chiefs' kingdom. I mean, we have the best player in the league. We have a team that's been playing the best football as of late. When everybody wanted to count him out, and when Tyreek Hill was kind of cast out, then it was supposed to be about a rebuild and all of those dreaded words that you don't want to hear. And all we did was just prove people wrong and then prove people right afterwards. And I think that's what's made this season so special, that we've done it differently. And not very many teams can say that they've gotten to the promised land by doing it differently than they've gotten there before. So I feel like this is a winnable game. They're a very good team, probably one of the more complete teams in the NFL. We'll have our hands full, but I feel like our experience, the fact that we've been here before, the pressure that we put on other teams will help us prevail.
You mentioned that it's been different. It's also a different situation because the Chiefs are betting underdogs. And when you look at a lot of the national outlets and you see who people are picking, it's mostly Eagles. This is a weird spot for Patrick Mahomes and the team. You're a guy who played, so you know what it's like to be the underdog and the favorite. When you see a team like this that now has that underdog mentality, is that an advantage for Kansas City?
I think it can be. I think guys, I remember myself being in the locker room. You take every slight, every opportunity to kind of amp yourself up. They're discounting us. They said something about my mama. They did whatever it is. And you try to use that energy on the field. So I don't think that that's going to be a catalyst, but I think it's a factor. Nobody wants to be slighted. Nobody wants to feel disrespected, especially this team. I kind of feel like, the wavering last week in the AFC Championship, it was about Patrick Mahomes' ankle and how the betting odds and all that, the ebbs and flows of that. To me, there's a little bit of a hangover if you're talking about nationally in regards to the Chiefs. 5 straight AFC championships, three Super Bowls in 4 years. I feel like there are more people that just want to talk against that just because they just want to talk against it, because we've been at that top echelon for so long. So I don't take it as a true slight. I feel like the Eagles are a really good football team, but I just know our team. I watch them. I watch how they've grown. You talk about teams being really good in September, being really good in October, November. There's no championships that are won in early parts of the season. It's about who's the best team, who's playing the best football during this time of the year. And against the Jaguars, against the Bengals, you can't argue that we're not playing the best football of all the playoff teams. And I feel that's why we should be confident.
One more about the game. Patrick Mahomes has been the catalyst for this last 5-year run, of course. I mean, so many other key pieces, but that's the guy, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's had a 5-year start to a career like this in terms of personal and team accolades. Yeah. He said he's not worried about legacy, but that's what people like us are for, right? To talk about where he stacks up. I know he's only 5 years in, but you've seen a lot of great quarterbacks, played with a lot of great quarterbacks. Where does he stack up in terms of all time right now?
Oh, to me, he's right at the top. Right at the top. I mean, you have to give credit to Tom Brady, maybe some people, Joe Montana. I feel like I've gotten this question asked to me, and I say, to me, Patrick's in the top 5 with the opportunity to elevate. He can go past Peyton Manning. He can go past John Elway if that's how the top 5, kind of sort out for most people. I feel like he's right underneath Joe and Tom, and in part because of how magical he's done it. And this year, to me, is even more impressive than his first Super Bowl and his first MVP year because of how he did it without Tyreek Hill, the assortment of talent that's around him, the emergence of rookies and young players like Noah Gray. I mean, there are games where you look at the stat sheet and he's targeted 12 different guys. There's only 13 guys eligible. So just about everybody that can go out and catch a pass, he's actually getting targets on the field. That's unheard of. You didn't see that with Peyton Manning in his run. You didn't see that with John Elway. You didn't see that with some of the greats. They had super great receivers, and pretty much that was who they went to. This is something special that we're experiencing in the Chiefs' kingdom, and we got to soak it up. We're spoiled. We're justifiably spoiled. It was a long time coming. You're talking about 50 years between a Super Bowl win. Now we're here for the third time in 4 years. Like, let's soak it up. Let's embrace it all because we got true greatness.
Yeah, you got to cherish it while you can. And I know one guy that is cherishing this is Art Haynes. I know you know Art from working with him. He's as big of a Chiefs fan and Royals fan that you're ever going to find. What he's going through has been so tough. Have you gotten the chance to speak to Art? What did you tell him if you did?
I did not get a chance to speak to him, but we've had interactions with his family, Dan Israel and Mitch Holtis. We're in the booth and constantly, talking with him. Brad Porter is taking over the reins as far as the pregame show and all of what Art did magically and greatly for so many years. So our hearts are with him. I feel like this is a win for him if we can get it done. Just because of what he's gone through. It's an amazing and kind of crazy story and how everything unfolded, but we're so thankful that he's getting better. Prayers were answered. We were lifting him up for him all throughout the season, and we look forward to celebrating with him. Looking forward to see the pictures, the videos of him celebrating this Super Bowl win.
Yeah, and then one last thing on him. You mentioned the crazy story of how he got sick and everything. Before that, I mean, everybody knew him as he's one of the top broadcasters that there is, especially down in our area in the Ozarks. So he's one of the legends down there. What can you say about him, not just as a broadcaster, but also as a person?
Well, as a person, he's second to none. To me, a top shelf dude. That's like the best that I can ever explain for somebody is that he's a top shelf dude. And he's a hustler, and I don't think many people realize, like, him driving into Kansas City to do the hits instead of staying down in Springfield. I do Missouri State basketball and football. He's there, we're going and chopping it up together as well. So if you're talking about a guy that's like mastered the mad scramble, like, that's Art Haynes. And I feel like, this is a special time where he can sit back. Let's just say this. He is getting to rest and absorb now. We're done with the rehab. We're done with all, the negative and, the sad part of it. Let's just say, Art, all these years and all the work that you've done, you get to sit back and just chill and watch this Chiefs hopefully win another Super Bowl.
Yeah, a positive spin. All right, Danan, thanks for your time.
No problem, brother.